What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tea Time. I'm Ikitami, and it is a great pleasure to hang out with all of you again. Just drop into the comments there and say what's up to everybody, and let me know where you're shooting from. All right, I'm hitting up from Glendale, and it is a great pleasure today to be hanging out with the people that are going to be on with me for this next hour. We're hanging out with a couple of the coolest kids in Southern California. That's right, I said it. A couple of the coolest kids in all of Southern California. Brazile and Shyla and their killer principal, Mrs. Carol Todd from the Los Angeles Adventist Academy. Shout out to LAAA. If you know what I'm talking about, go ahead and put LAAA in those comments. Hi to all of you, Ayana, Adori, Alaric, all of y'all. What's up? What's up, Brandon? What's up? What's going on? Welcome on to Tuesday Tea Time. Before we get to our really cool group of people today, I also want to let you know next week, we're going to kick off March by going into the conversation of mental health and emotional health. We're going to have all kinds of different people coming in. Whether next week is going to be Marco Tepete, LAAA. There you are. What's up, Sean and Micah? Good to see all of you. Yes. Eagle Pride, baby. But we're going to bring in all kinds of people. So next week, we're going to have Marco Tepete. He is the Literature Evangelist Director for Southern California Conference. But his story is wild. You're not going to miss it. The things that he went through and his own testimony is so powerful. He's going to talk about that and how he was able to move through his journey in dealing with mental health and emotional health. We're also going to have on a professor in philosophy, in law, and theology. He's going to come on the week after. We're going to have one of our young adult groups from around Southern California. They're going to be talking about it. And then we're going to end out the month of March with the Los Angeles Department of Mental Health. They're going to be actually on here, and we're going to be really discussing this. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Don't miss out. Next week is Marco Tepete. But this week, ladies and gentlemen, LAAA. Or not, just me. Right. What's up, my peoples? Good to see you.
Hi. Hello.
On to Tuesday Tea Time. There you are. Thank you. For a second, I was like, man, it's kind of quiet out here, yo.
Here we are.
Yes. Welcome on. If you are just checking in, we are with some of the brightest and awesomest in Southern California. I've got Shyla, Dante, and Mrs. Todd from Los Angeles Adventist Academy. It's a privilege to have you on here as we close the celebrations for Black History Month. Thank you, my peoples, for being here and us talking about life, faith, history, and the future. Now, tell me, I'm going to start with Shyla. Shyla, what you drinking today, since this is tea time?
I am drinking lovely water.
Oh, fantastic. And of what brand are you drinking this water, Shyla?
It is Kroger.
Kroger. Okay. I hear they make a good water. Circa 2021, probably that bottle. Nice. Very good. Dante, what about you, my man? What are you drinking?
I am drinking this juice. It's called guava juice. It's pretty good.
Shabam! Dante bringing the guava juice. Did you say guava?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic, my bro. Yeah, you win. Mrs. Todd, can you top guava juice in a glass?
Well, we'll try, but I have lemon infused all the way from home, pressed by myself, lovingly, infused, hydrating, lemon infused water.
Oh, nothing beats that. That's some good stuff.
Yes.
And you got that lemon in there too? Man, that's
Lemon.
Winners. Well, thank you three for joining me here on Tuesday. I know that you all probably have busy lives, as we all do, and yet you took time to be on here with us. I want to start. Dante, you're in 7th grade and Shyla, you're in 5th. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Dante, let me ask you, what is your favorite subject right now in the current moment?
Um, Maybe math. It's pretty difficult, but you know, I like it. I like it.
Really? Okay. We got a mathematician with us. Hello. And Shyla, what about you?
My favorite subject at the moment is language arts.
Language arts. Oh man, you two are way brighter than I was in 7th grade. My favorite subject was lunchtime. Unfortunately, it's Mrs. Todd, I want to ask you a more personal question about being a principal. Why did you decide to go into education? Did you always want to do this from childhood?
That's a great question. I didn't go into education. Education came into me.
Ooh.
So I know I just thought of that. So I love math. I majored in math in college. And I said, okay, well, when you graduate, I said, what aspect of math do I want to go into? Well, I thought, let me just teach until I figure that out. And this is where I got stuck, teaching and educating the future.
Wow. Wow. Where did you do your undergrad studies?
Very good. Oakwood University, which was
Shout out to Oakwood.
Yes.
All right. All right. All right. Shout out to Oakwood. Very good.
Yes.
Fantastic. So how about you, Shyla? What do you want to do when you grow up? Do you have any plans?
When I grow up, I mainly want to be a doctor, but I would also like to do art when I'm feeling stressed.
So right now your choices are being a doctor or being an artist.
Well,
Is that right?
I know I'm going. Yes, I know I'm going to be the main thing I want to be is a doctor, but for the artist thing, I'm gonna do kind of both, but the artist is gonna be like on my spare time.
Ooh, that's awesome. Girl, I just want to encourage you. Whatever God has called you to, however he's made you to flourish into the future, do that. I mean, both of those are great fields to go into. One of those, you'll be broke as a joke, but you know what? If that's what God called you to do, go ahead and do it, girl. Go ahead and do it. My daughter loves to draw. She's always like, "Oh, Daddy, on," and I'm like, "Ooh, that means you're gonna be living at home with me forever." But yeah, if you love it, I completely am for it. Go for it. Art is awesome. Dante, what about you, man? What do you want to do when you grow up?
I want to be a professional athlete, more specifically a basketball player. But my backup plan, I want to be a real estate agent or I want to work for ESPN.
Hey, it's always good to have a backup plan. That's a good plan B and C. What position do you play when you ball? What are you hoping to play?
Point guard.
A point guard, huh? Okay. Who's your favorite point guard out there right now?
His name is Trey Young.
Oh, I think I've heard of him. Yeah, Trey Young. Nice. Are you hoping to play for the Hawks as well?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's great. All right, man. Well, look, listen. If you get that big break, remember the little people. Remember you were on Tea Time before they knew you as Dante the baller for the Hawks. All right. All right. Very good. What is your favorite thing about LAAA, Dante?
I like the atmosphere. You know, it's always positivity. There's never negativity or there's never negative thoughts. They're very welcoming. And they accept you for you. And I think it's just a very, very good school to go to learn to be a better person.
Yeah, man, that's a fantastic answer, buddy. I think that should be so important for every school that they prioritize that. We've got a lot of smart people in this world. We need more. We need smart people, but we also need them to be compassionate, empathetic, good people, right? That's great, Dante. What about you, Shyla? What's one of your favorite things about LAAA?
My favorite thing is that we are not just like student and teachers and classmates. We are like a family.
That right? You guys have a real close bond. And how long have you been at LAAA?
I've been at LAAA for
Since preschool.
Wow. Yes. Legacy. Very good. Very good. I'm going to bring this question right around to our principal, Mrs. Todd of Los Angeles Adventist Academy. Mrs. Todd, you probably have a multiple amount of things that you love about that school, but could you tell us maybe what your favorite thing is about Los Angeles Adventist Academy?
Yes, I believe I'm going to echo what Dante said. It does feel like home. We get to create this family environment because we're a smaller school in comparison. So we are the place where families can come, not only for the education of their children, but when there are problems that we all can come together to solve. We care if a loved one is sick, if a loved one passes away, we're there. It's like our loved one is sick or has passed away. Our birthdays are like the biggest event of the year. Everyone celebrates everyone. And so I just had a birthday and it was phenomenal with bright colored papers. And it's home. It's home. So every morning when I come, I know I don't have to come in because I can use the excuse, oh, I'm quarantining, I'm being safe. Right. But I want to come. I want to come into the office to make sure everything is going well for those students who are virtually learning and providing and making sure we're ready for when they're ready to come back. So bottom line, it's home. It's like going home every day.
Such a holistic approach to life. Wow.
You've said it.
So you've been actually a teacher there. In fact, you've taught math there, and you've also been in administration, which you are currently in right now as the principal. Which one do you actually enjoy more? Which one for you has been like, wow, like I really love this?
I like teaching. I love teaching more. You really get that hands-on touch with the children. I taught high school, so we don't have high school, but it was just being in the classroom. I like that. I really like that. So I prefer teaching.
So good. So good. Well, thank you for sacrificing and taking on admin so that we can continue moving forward and having successful teachers there at LAAA. And obviously, if you're looking at Dante and Shyla and a bunch of the other kids, you can tell just what a great effect LAAA is having on the world. So thank you. Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to the 3-2-1. My friends, if you are catching up with us here at Tuesday Tea Time, there's something I do every week. I call it the 3-2-1 hacks. And all of my guests who come on, they will do 3 tips. They'll give me 2 tips and they'll give me 1 tip on something about life that in their wheelhouse. So if you're an artist, obviously you're going to give me 3 practical tips on how to become a better artist. If you're a writer and you come on here as a guest, you'll tell me 2 tips on how to write better or how to create a novel, right? All things that are practical that if you do immediately, it will change and make you better at that thing. I've asked our guests today to give us 3-2-1 tips in this area. So if you're ready, this is the value section of our time together. It's where you get a pencil out or your Apple Pen or you write down something and get ready to get some really cool tips. Okay, and we're just going to do this one at a time here. I want to start with, I'm going to ask Shyla. Can I start with you, Shyla?
Yes, you can.
All right, so I want you to give us here, everybody watching along, 3 tips on how to stay positive in our world today.
The first tip is when you're feeling like down, you can always hang out with your family.
Ooh,
the second tip, the second tip is to stay positive. You can like have a calendar and you can write like daily reminders, or you can write like you can do it on your calendar.
Yes.
And a third thing you can do is you always remember that if one person is not there for you, then that doesn't mean that there is a lot of other people that are there for you.
I like it. Those are 3 really good tips. I'm going to repeat them for those of you watching along who you may have missed it, right? Number 1, hang out with some family, especially during this time when we're isolated. It's easier to feel alone. So get around some of your family folk that live in your house. Your mom, your dad, that brother that annoys you, that sister that gets under your skin. Get around them, and even that will feel pretty good after a while. The second one is to write it into your calendar. You said that, right, Shyla? Write it into your calendar?
Yeah, like writing encouraging messages.
Write encouraging messages. Nothing wrong with writing a reminder to yourself that you are awesome, or that smile more today, or that God loves you. Those are great little gems that you find along the way. And the third one, Shyla, you said that if somebody doesn't connect with you, to remember what? That there's always other people? Is that what you said?
To remember that there's always other people that are there for you.
Very good. Very good. Fantastic. All right. Okay. Dante, give us your 3 tips on how to be a more positive person in our world today.
You could meditate. That takes away all the stress or emotional pain. I try to meditate sometimes, when I'm stressed or but meditating is definitely a good way to be positive. You could also read the Bible. The Bible is such a good book, and there's so many things that you can learn from there, so many life lessons that you can learn from there. So you could read the Bible to stay peaceful and kind and nice. And you can also just take time to know yourself, or take time to know others, what's going on in someone else's life. Listen to others and listen to what they have in their mind, and try to support others for what they want to do in life, or just what they want to be.
Wow. Why are you guys so mature and grown up right now, though? That's phenomenal. You don't need a degree. Just do this. Come on every week and give us some tips on life. That's fantastic. Number 1, you said meditate. You said you meditated. Dante, I'm so impressed right now. I'm coming over to your house. You said meditate. Number 1, read the word. Read the word. For those of you listening out there who have not tried it, read your word. And here's a couple reasons for me, Dante, why I think that's important. Number 1, there's always a powerful promise hidden in there from God to us. And so all you got to do is take a little bit of time in that word, and you'll notice what God is promising. But the second reason why is when you read about these characters in the Bible and how horrible some of their lives are, man, it makes you feel a little bit better that your life is not so bad, right? We're like, oh man, my internet's slow. Yeah, but this guy was in the wilderness. Okay, my bad. Yeah, it's fine. Internet's fine. Slow internet, be okay. So that's a great tip. Read the word. And then their third one, can you just repeat your third one again for me real quick?
You could take time to know others.
Time to know yourself and others. Yes, I think that's what you said. Take time to know yourself and know others. Fantastic, Dante. Thank you so much. Very good. And of course, Mrs. Todd, rounding out, could you give us 3 tips on how to stay positive in today's world and today's climate?
Right. Well, these young people took all my answers, but I could just add a couple to that.
You taught them well.
Number 1, yeah, okay. They took my answers, as a matter of fact. But just looking at, I believe, looking at the life of Christ, as we talked about, how he survived and thrived through very negative situations. So he is an example for us. Number 2, we may have to unplug from some of the noise and things that are going on around us, even their YouTube videos, their social media. You're going to have to unplug and get back to the source of beauty. And number 3, doing for others always helps bring a new perspective, as you talked about. Doing for others. What can you do? Even if it's washing the dishes when your mom doesn't ask you to. Do it before she asks. That's going to be bring so much peace and joy. So doing for others.
Go that extra mile. Yeah.
Go the extra
mile. You said you were just going to add a couple. Those are phenomenal. The life of Christ Absolutely. Doing for
Mhm.
others. You probably know it, and all of you probably know it as well. But something I learned as a little child that stays with me even as a grown adult is the word joy, right? Jesus, others, then yourself. And
Yes.
when you do it in that order, you find joy when you put others before yourself, when you put Christ before yourself. Now, what was that second
Mhm.
one that you had mentioned there, Mrs. Todd?
I said unplug. Unplug. Sometimes you gotta
Oh,
put down social media and YouTube, the news
right.
for us older people. Gotta put that away.
Ooh,
Unplug.
gotta put you are so right. Don't unplug
Mm.
right now, peoples. Wait till we
No,
are
not now.
done, and then
Right.
afterwards, just unplug. It's so true.
Right.
So true. Wow,
Mhm.
very good. Okay, that's those are some tips for you people out there. If you're looking for 9 great ways to become more positive in today's climate, in today's world, you got them right there. Okay, we're gonna move to 2 tips. 2 tips on how to do better in school. My friends, if you need this tip like I did my whole time through the educational system, through academics, this one's for you. I'm gonna ask 2 tips and then 2 tips from each of you. So we'll start with Dante, then we'll go Mrs. Todd, and then I want to end with Shyla on how to do better in school, how to get better grades. Dante.
Well, you could study. That helps a lot, like a lot. Um, you can study,
Yes.
or you can just put in the time and the effort to do it. You know, some people say it's too hard and then just say, "Know what? I'm just gonna not do it." But you could put in the effort. Homework or doing your work and learning more will be a big factor in your future life. So just put in the extra minutes to do tomorrow's work will help 10, 15 years from now.
Wow. That's a great trajectory. If you do a little bit now, it'll have a great effect later. Very good. So just go that just that, hit that extra bit right there, everybody. Dante said hit that nitro and just get out a little bit further ahead. Even if it's hard, put in your time and it's gonna pay off in the long run. And I love that first one. It's so practical. So practical. Study. That's a that's a great tip. I don't know if you've ever done this, but in my life, I've walked into classrooms where I realized I've had to pray for God's extra grace because there was a test that I had not prepared for, right? So just
Mhm.
study it out. Very good. Mrs. Todd.
Yeah. Once again, Dante took my words. But there's a buzzword in education now called resilience. We know it as grit. And that's right.
Mm,
Stay with it. When things are hard, get the extra help. Stay in there. Persevere. That's going to pay off, as Dante reminded us. And then another tip would be read. read. Read.
it's true.
Listen, this generation, you have no excuse. You don't have to walk to a library. You don't have to look up the
Come on,
Dewey
say that.
Decimal System to look up stuff. You have no excuse.
Right.
You Google everything. Khan Academy teaches you it. What excuse?
No.
None. You don't know Dewey Decimal. You don't got to go to the
Right.
library and then get picked up
Dewey
later and you're
Decimal.
hungry. You don't know that. Go Google.
There's,
So
there are
no
millennials
excuse, this
looking at you right
generation.
now talking about the Dewey's. What the?
They don't know. Look at them. They don't know what I'm talking about. So you
They
have
have no
no
idea. Yeah.
yeah. Google it. Google.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's so
So,
good. That's so good. And the truth is, the more you read, the more you fall in love with it too.
yeah. Yeah.
So that's good. That's good.
Mhm.
Shyla, give us 2 tips for everybody watching along on how they can immediately become better at studying or transforming their grades.
My first tip is while we are on online classes, some people might want to just like pop up another tab and watch YouTube while we're in class. But
Some teachers might be doing that
but
too.
we need to learn to put down the phone while we're doing homework, while we're in class, and because that is distracting us a lot, and we need to not do that. And
Mhm.
the second tip is while you're in class, you need to pay attention to what the teacher is teaching you, because later on you might not pick it up as fast.
Yep. Shyla, let me ask you, I'll piggyback on that because that last one was really good. Let me ask you, do you have one tip on how someone can stay focused in class? Because you know how it is, right, Shyla? Like you're paying attention to all things. Next thing you know, you're staring out the window or doing something else. So could you give us one tip to help someone stay focused in class? What's something they can do while in class to help them like stay on course?
Something you can do is you can put your phone away, because you do not need to look on your phone. And you need to like get up, sit down, sit at a desk or something, because if you lay in your bed or in a comfy position or place, you will have the urge to go to sleep.
Oh, that's the truth. Yes. Yeah, you speak truth, sister. Thank you so much. Let me ask Dante, Shyla, do you all have phones?
Yes.
I do not have a phone. I have an iPad.
Wow.
I wish though. I wish.
Mercy. You know, there was a time when we couldn't carry phones in our pockets with us. That's why we had that extra long cord that was connected to the wall, so we could try to move it around our house. Mrs. Todd knows what I'm talking about. The gift of being able to have a phone. Wow. You all are champions. Tell your parents to call me afterwards. I'd like to get a phone from them if possible. We're going to go to the last tip. We're going to go to that last tip. The last tip is, how can we care for our neighbor better? If you do this one thing, it'll make you care for your neighbors better. And for all of you watching along, I shared with them earlier, I don't mean your neighbor as in your literal neighbor, although that is inclusive in the conversation, but also I mean like your classmate, maybe your teacher, maybe your friends, maybe somebody who kind of annoys you, or who's indifferent with you, maybe a family member, right? So how or what can you do to care for those people more? I'm going to start with Mrs. Todd this time, Mrs. Todd, because I'm tired of these kids taking your answer. I don't want them stealing your answers anymore.
They are.
I'll let you go first.
They are. Yes. Okay. So how can you care for your neighbor? I think right now, listening. Listening. What do they need? I can bring you groceries, but if you need someone to be with you and you're lonely, yeah, groceries might help, but you really need someone to listen to. So I think listening, meaning someone may not expressly tell you, what they're wanting, but if you listen carefully, you can always know how to help. That's right. He listened.
Yeah, that's good. Ooh. So good. So good. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Todd. Let's go with, let me see. Dante ended us out last time. So Dante, you want to chime in here?
Yes. Miss Todd stole my answer, but
Yay!
maybe just a small little compliment that day at work. Their day could have started off bad, or it could have ended poorly. So just a nice compliment will help their day, or just help them and want them to do better the next day.
Wow, that's really good, my bro. Thank you so much. Very good. Shyla, close us off in this segment here of 3 to 1 by giving us one way we can care for our neighbors better.
Okay, so if you are being mean to them, or if you are treating them in a poorly manner, so one thing you can do is you can put yourself in their shoes. Like if they don't have everything you have, you can try to limit yourself on how much money you spend. And yeah.
Man, that is so good. That is right. That's right on. I couldn't have asked for better answers from all of you. Thank you so much. That was a fantastic 3-2-1 hack segment there. For all of you watching along, I hope you wrote down some of these things and put it into memory or put it into heart. And I'd love for you to just start trying it. Just start doing it today, everybody. Read a book, study a little bit more, listen closer. Pick any two of these suggestions you got here, and I guarantee it'll make you better in all of these areas. Thank you so much, you guys, for that. We're going to push through a little bit here. Dante, Shyla, are you all still in distant learning?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Dante, let me ask you, what is the hardest part about distance learning?
Everything. It's just so difficult, and it's so irritating. Sometimes it whether it's the Wi-Fi, you can't get on, and that's what makes it more irritating. Because if you have a sibling and they're trying to get on, then they're gonna try to complain, and they're gonna yell and stuff. So it's just everything about distant learning is pretty hard, but it could be worse. I always say that to my mom or anybody. It could be even worse. We could not be learning, and a whole year of knowledge could have been gone. So I think it's pretty difficult, and I don't like it, but it could be worse. So you just got to look on the bright side.
Way to get positive on there, my bro. Way to put some of those techniques into play right there. That's fantastic. Shyla, for you, what has been a bright spot in distant learning? What is something that you were like, okay, well, this was unexpectedly nice?
The bright spot is
You're still working on the bright spot, huh?
Oh, I know. It's when, like, if we are having trouble with something, you can always do independent work, and you can always do your work on your own because it's laid out for you to do it. So you can have some alone time with your teacher and catch up on things that you don't really understand.
That is a bright spot. You know what one bright spot I was thinking of is we were able to do a fall week of prayer together with all of our schools in Southern California. And we're going to do another one this spring together, all the schools, which is something we wouldn't normally be able to do if we weren't technically doing distant learning. And I thought that's pretty cool. So yeah, there's always little bright spots. Mrs. Todd, as an administrator and a former teacher of that school, what are your hopes for your kids? You just heard them talking about some of their struggles, obviously, during this time and some of their bright spots, but what are your overall hopes for them?
Yes, my hope for every student is for them to build their relationship with God. I know it sounds hokey and it may sound simplistic, but when you build your relationship with God, when you learn to trust him and follow his plan, how can you fail? So that's really my hope for every child. We're having kind of our own week of prayer, putting on the armor of God this week.
Yes.
And so it's just that they will know God and fall in love with God so they can learn to trust his plan and follow it. And then everything else will fall into place.
Wow. That's so good. So true. So true. How does that play out when you're talking about, say, faith? Do you take time to instill that kind of spirit into their faith? And how does it look like when you're trying to instill that in your students about their community and about their world, Mrs. Todd?
Wow. So that's a very good question. We've had the opportunity. Well, let me back up. This past summer, when all the social unrest was going on and the Black Lives Movement was really going full throttle, I wanted to be in school so badly to give our students that. Right. Oh boy, I wanted them. But we got to, when they came back, we were able to. The good thing is, I know it's Black History Month, and so many of our students who are African descent or African American, we kind of live the experience. And so we can implement that pride, the uniqueness of their talents and gifts that may not be celebrated elsewhere, but their unique talents and gifts, we get to exasperate that. And so how does that play into faith? Faith that God will use your talents. What a wonderful display of Amanda Gorman, the one who spoke at the inauguration, the young lady who did the poetry.
Yeah.
She grew up a couple of blocks from the school where most of our kids come, this community. So when Shyla's saying, oh, I do want to do art on the side, God has gifted you that. He could take you to unheard of places by letting him, trusting him with your gift and letting him use you. So look at me. I'm just a teacher, but I'm on your show. Trust me. Look at this. My baby.
You're a superstar.
He could take me to places I couldn't imagine. I'm on your show.
Yeah, that's right. So, that's right.
So we illustrate that and let God just instill in them the faith that God's got you. God's got you. Trust your talents, your gifts to him. He's got you.
Yeah,
I hope that answered the question. I was all over the place, but I hope that answered.
Goosebumps.
Yay.
No, you were right on it. And I want to just return to a joke I started off earlier with Shyla. Shyla, I was just playing around about being an artist and being broke. Like that's just a running joke I have with my kids. But if God called you that, Shyla, don't shy away from it. Like he gives you gifts for a purpose, for a reason. The word says that you were made with purpose. So go ahead and embrace what God has called you to. And I fully endorse you wanting to be a doctor as well. But wherever God leads you, let him lead you and follow radically, follow with confidence and courage. Thank you so much, Mrs. Todd, for working with your team to continue to instill these great principles of culture and life and equality into your students. I'm just gonna right now let you all know, because you all are on and because you were just sharing right now, I want to give away a gift to some of our viewers today. So, and only if you want it, but we have these shirts that we made here at the One House Department, and it's in the front. It reads, what does it read? I don't have one here on me, but on the back, it basically says Black Lives Matter, Adventist for Black Lives Matter. In other words, we want to support our Black community and the amazing things they do. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give 15 shirts away to the first 15 people who will jump over to our IG right now, DM us your name, your address, and your size, and I'll get you one. We'll send it out from us to you. The front is on Isaiah. It talks about Isaiah, and it talks about justice. So we want to do that as a gift to you. Jump over to our Instagram, go on to the DM us your name, your size, and your address, and we'll shoot you one. And of course, you all get one because you're on here with me and because I love you and because you're awesome. So let's push forward a little bit here together. Shyla, what do you like about your family that you live with, that is in your home? I know your parents is nearby, so careful what you say, girl.
I like that no matter what situation, we can always have a good time.
All right. And Dante, if you could change anything about 2020, what one thing would you change?
I don't know. There was a lot going on. Kobe passed. Virus.
Still hurting.
The Black Lives Matter thing. There was so much going on, and it's not just those three things. There's many things that happened that affected other people or other families or even countries or states. So that question is pretty hard to answer. I don't know. I don't know. It's pretty hard to answer. There's a lot of stuff going on.
There was a lot, wasn't there? It's really difficult.
Yeah,
to
it
pick
was like
just one.
one unlivable maze.
Maybe you could wish for a redo button, and we could
Yeah.
switch up 2020 a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay, Dante, tell me,
definitely.
what are you hopeful about for our future?
Um. Well, I want to go to college, so I have
Yes,
my
you
hopes
will
up
go
for
to
that.
college.
I have my hopes up for everybody that I know, or everybody that I care about, or everybody that has been with me every step of the way. I want them to do good things in life, um, and I want them to achieve anything that they want themselves to achieve. Achieve. I want them to put their minds to anything that they want. Even just everybody at my school.
Mm,
Shyla, she's a she's a young, bright lady. So in my opinion, I think she can do anything in life as long as she puts her mind to it and just dedicates her life to it. I think she can do it. So
mm,
the sky's the limit for
Thank you.
everybody.
mm. Dante, are there any pastors in your family?
Um, that I
I
don't
feel
know.
like
I don't know.
I feel like the cloth is near to you, my son. Shyla, tell me what hopeful thing do you see for our future?
For our future, I hope. Well, first for me, I hope that, like Dante said, I hope that when I grow up, I can go to college, get a
Yes, you
good
will.
degree, and my hope for for everybody is, I hope that we can get over the coronavirus, and we could get over everything that happened that's bad, and I just hope that we can continue being strong and believing in ourselves.
Yeah, so good, so good. Words, very wise words from two of the brightest in Southern California. All right, my friends, we're going to move on to our next segment. If you jumped in here with us, welcome to Tuesday Tea Time. I'm Icky Timey. We are hanging out with three amazing people connected to Los Angeles Adventist Academy. We've got the Principal Carol Todd. We've got Shyla, who is in 5th grade, right, Shyla? Shyla in 5th grade,
Yes.
Dante 7th grade, our 7th grader, and we're talking about all things life, culture, faith, and future. We're going to move into the next segment, which is called the Love One, Leave One. This is one of my favorites right now. So it's a game. We'd like for all of you to play along with us. I'm going to explain to you how the game works. And our first two contestants up will be Dante and Shyla. All right? It's called Love One, Leave One. I'm going to give you two options. And you get 1 minute, and we're just going to go through a list of things. I'm going to give you two options here. You have to choose which one you're going to love. Whichever one you decide to leave, that thing disappears from humanity for the rest of existence. So if you choose one thing, you love that thing, everyone can enjoy that for the rest of their lives. But whatever thing you don't choose, that thing gets left behind, and never again can any of us experience that. All right? For my keyboard warriors, get your fingers ready to go. We're going to set a timer at 1 minute, and then I'm going to start shooting the answers. Shyla, Dante, make sure you're unmute and ready to go, and just answer as we go. All right? All right.
Okay.
If you're ready to go, Shyla and Dante, give me a thumbs up. Okay, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, start that minute timer. Lakers or Clippers?
Lakers.
Lakers.
All right. Goodbye, Clippers, for eternity. In-N-Out or Chick-fil-A?
In-N-Out.
Chick-fil-A.
Woo!
Ooh.
The Voice or Masked Singer?
Chick-fil-A.
That's a hard one. The Masked Singer.
You love the Masked Singer?
The Masked Singer. I have to
What
say the
about
Masked
you?
Singer.
All right.
The Masked
Voice
Singer.
is gone. Roblox or Fortnite?
I don't play either. Maybe
How did
Fortnite, I
both
guess.
go? Okay, all right.
Both
all right.
go, yeah.
I would
Both.
say
Lucky
Roblox,
Charms?
but I don't play Fortnite.
Lucky Charms or Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Cinnamon Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Spaghetti or tacos?
Tacos.
Spaghetti.
Oh, nice work, my friends. Nice work. Before we bring on Mrs. Todd, how hard was that?
It involved a lot of critical thinking.
Yeah, it did. I see all my Lakers people showed up here. Thank you very much to Brennan. Thank you to Hannah. We got taco love here. Chuggy said taco instead of spaghetti. Looked like you might have lost that spaghetti or taco war there, Shyla. There's a lot of taco. Jolyn for tacos. Arlick for tacos. Yeah, okay. All right, Mrs. Todd, are you prepared and ready?
Ready.
Okay. All right.
We're ready.
Senyas Pono, can you put her up on screen? Oh, here we go. All right. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. 90s R&B or 70s Motown?
70s.
John the Apostle or Paul?
Ooh, Paul.
All right, by Revelations. Beaches or mountains?
Beaches.
SUV or luxury sedan?
I'm a teacher. SUV. I need to lug things.
Whitney Houston or Mariah Carey?
Oh, Whitney.
How could you not?
Yeah.
Haystacks or Big Franks?
Now that's hard.
That's how you know you're a real Adventist. You're having a tough time.
Yes. My men will be revoked if I don't say haystack, but I got to go with Big Franks. Big Franks. That's my favorite.
Oh, good call.
Yeah.
Lakers or Warriors?
Lakers.
Time is up. Yes. You answered correctly when you said that.
Yes, Lakers.
All right, Chuggies for Haystacks, Sophia for Haystacks, Brennan Haystacks, Jordan Haystacks. Now, Mrs. Todd, these are real Adventists who are speaking now. So
I know.
I
know. Right. Yeah, but I'm a lifer. So I'm.
We'll let you in honorary, but everybody knows Haystacks is the business.
It is. That's why I went the other way, to just bring some controversy to the show. We wanted some controversy.
Look at you, bringing our ratings up. We ain't got no ratings. We just doing what we want to do here.
This is fun. It's fun.
Dante, how can church be a more amazing place? How can it? What would you suggest all of us to do? And we're listening now, Dante. So be honest. What can we all do to make church a more amazing place?
Man, church is already pretty good itself. I don't think anything should change. Church is already a positive. Church is like my school. It's a positive place, and you can sit down and pray to God or just talk to others or make new friends. It's so welcoming. Every church that I have gone through, it's pretty welcoming and pretty nice, and it's a positive attitude. So in my opinion, I don't think anything about a church should change.
Oh, Dante, you are awesome, man. And what church do you attend right now currently? Do you have one that you guys regularly attend now?
Right now I don't go to church, but
I think we lost Dante. Dante, if you can hear us, we lost your audio. We'll come back to you, Dante, when you get that audio plugged back in. Shyla, I want to ask you the same question. What's something do you think we could do in church to make it more amazing?
Well, there's nothing you can do to church, but I think more people can be attending church.
Very good. And do you attend a particular church right now? Obviously, distantly, probably online.
Yes, I go to the City of Refuge.
City of Refuge. Fantastic. All right. Thanks, Shyla. Shyla, while I'm with you, I want to ask, what's something you love about your teachers there at LAAA?
I love that when we have like a difficult topic or a difficult lesson, they break it down for us to understand it.
Shyla, you still with me? Or am I left by
Oh,
myself?
can you hear me?
Mrs. There you are. And there you went.
Okay.
I can no longer hear you, Shyla.
Can you hear me now?
I can't hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. Yep. There you are.
Okay.
Mrs. Todd, how does LAAA
Mhm.
implement education for their kids on things like Black history and inspire them to create a brilliant story for the world tomorrow?
Mm. Yeah, like we mentioned earlier, most of us are living the experience of
Every day.
Blackness.
Yeah.
However, every day. However, the students, we have to infuse even more so into our students' cultural sensitivity. So, disciplines are approached from a cultural kind of perspective for the most part. We throw in when there is when we're studying math and that particular concept came from Egypt or
Mm-hmm.
history, what role that people of color, whether it be from our Central American places or from the African or Egypt or those, we give the whole story of how education and academics have begun or has come about. And so, you in order to see it, in order to be it, you have to see it. So the story we create for our students is one of inclusion. That yes, your ancestors, your forefathers played a positive role in the development of society.
Yeah,
And that's throughout the year. So we don't need just the shortest month of the year.
Right.
We do it the whole year.
Yeah.
Everything is through that lens.
That matters so much. That matters so much. The kind of human beings we raise in this world. Thank you so much for the hard work you guys are doing there at LAAA. And I hope that we continue to find ways to model that and see that in other schools as they too do their best to create this inclusive world. Thanks for that, Mrs. Todd. So we're going to close out, and I want to thank everybody for jumping on here. My peoples, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for all the fun that you've had. Thanks for jumping in the comments and dropping some of these fun comments over here. And I want to thank my 3 amazing human beings that live right here in Southern California. That's right. If you're driving around, you might see them somewhere. If you do, ask for their autograph because they're amazing. I want to thank you, Mrs. Todd. I want to thank you, Shyla, and I want to thank you, Dante, for spending your afternoon right here on Tea Time, hanging out with us. Just as we close out, I do want to ask one final question for you all. I want to ask of you to share some final words with everyone watching today. Maybe some of these individuals are your classmates. Maybe it's a family member. Maybe it's your mom, your dad, an aunt, or an uncle. Maybe it's somebody who goes to church with you. Maybe it's just somebody who jumped on from just because they wanted to come on and check this out. Would you share some words of encouragement and inspiration with them all? Shyla, I want to start with you, and then Dante, and then Mrs. Todd, I want to ask you to close it out for us.
Okay, I want to say never give up on something you're really good at.
Ooh, so good. So good. Thank you. Dante.
For me, just do you in life. There's always gonna be that one person, at least that one person in life, that's gonna hate on you or that's gonna say not to do this or not to do that. But in my opinion, I think you should do whatever you want to do or be whatever you want to be. If you want to be a doctor, be a doctor. If you want to be a pediatrician, be a pediatrician. If you want to be anything, if you want to be anything you want to be in general, then just be that. There's, like I said, there's always gonna be that hater, and there's always gonna be that supporter. Follow by an example. and always have a role model. Role models will help a lot in life, and they will show you the way, and they will show you the path to go and not down a wrong path. Because a lot of people who have good good dreams or who want to be something important in life, they always go down the wrong path. So I say follow those who support you and not those who doubt you. Because
Yes, yes.
uh, yeah.
Good words, good words, powerful, impactful words, truth, truth. Mrs. Todd, can you
Yes.
take us home with some powerful words for those watching along? Maybe for that those kids who are just coming up. Maybe for that teacher who's still in school. Maybe for that young mathematician out there who's watching along here today. Could you share some inspirational words with us?
Okay. Well, Shyla and Dante once again have nailed it. I just want to add that your way to life or way in life has to be in step with the one who created you.
Mm-hmm.
He knows best. You can't go wrong. You may not see it at first, but you will not go wrong with putting your life in the hands of Jesus Christ. You can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong. Wow. Yeah, my friends, you cannot go wrong if you leave your hands in the one who created plans for you long before you were born. He knows you best. Mrs. Todd, thank you so much. Very good words of inspiration. And Dante, Shyla, I want to thank you for your time. And I want you to know that you two are going to continue to do amazing and marvelous things in this world. Don't turn from your dreams. Stay true to yourself. Stay focused on Jesus, and he will bring to fruition in you the plans he has for your life. Thank you so much, you three, for coming on. And thank you, everybody, for jumping in here with us, dropping into the comments, hanging out, sharing some jokes, and laughing with us for this last hour. It's a great privilege and honor. I was for a time, I was also at LAAA, and so the LA area in Compton is a home, dear home for me. I have a deep love for them. I'm thankful for what LAAA continues to do. All of you teachers there, continue to fight the good fight. All of you students, keep your eyes focused. Thank you, Mrs. Todd. Thank you, everybody. Until next Tuesday, stay safe and be blessed. And next week, we're going to be hanging out with Marco Topete. He is the literature evangelist, and his testimony is out of this world. So you're not going to miss it. Thanks again, everybody. God bless you all. Peace.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for having me.